you think? Good.
Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, September 5th, 2019. I made it to work for the day already, and I did not sleep well last night. Sophie was up 3, maybe 4 times in the night. Yeah, just keeping me on my toes, man. It's tough on these days when I'm working all day and she sleeps all day and then she sleeps all night with me. She just gets so restless and stuff. Today's the day it's finally come, but I have to buckle down and get an insane amount of work done today. Work. So that's what's going to happen. Figured you guys could join me and we'll have some fun with this. But basically working on the inventory project today. We have an investors meeting on site today. So we got a lot of people coming in and stuff. They pick everything up, clean everything up. They got tables set up outside. They even brought in one of my businesses or works semi-tanker trucks. And it's like a really pretty tanker truck. It's all stainless steel, shined up, and stainless steel rims, and they armor all the tires and stuff on this semi. Looks really nice. But it's all just like song and dance with the investors. So, yeah, so that's it. I don't really have much to report. Last night, did a little bit more research for this networking stuff. So on my way home from work yesterday, talking with Luke, I was asking him some basic questions, and like I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do with this network stuff. So he asked me, he said, what do you want to do? What's your goal and all that sort of stuff? Because he was trying to figure out if I wanted to set up a layer 3 switch or a layer 2 router, or like what's going on. So I might even have those terms backwards. I don't know. So I kind of was thinking about it more and more and more. And then I was like, you know what? Yeah, like I need to kind of have a goal in mind versus just randomly trying stuff with a switch and breaking it and all that. So what I'm going to try to do is roll back my switch config to yesterday when it was just a normal 10 gig switch. So that was working and that was fine, and it was really basic, but it was a 10 gig switch. That's what it comes down to. So I'm going to set that up or get that back working, probably leave it alone. I'll leave it at that. And then I found an article that explains exactly what I want to do with my home network. So they're using Ubiquiti Edge routers, and they're like $50-$60. And then they're using a 24-port PoE Ubiquiti switch, and that's it. So it's pretty simple setup, but with this Ubiquiti Edge router, you're able to use 2 of them and set up IPsec tunnels between the 2 if you wanted to. So, and they're only $50. So I could always get 2 of those or something. Luke gave me a couple 3750 PoE switches. I don't remember if they're 24 or 48 port, but with those, I should be able to use those instead of the Ubiquiti ones if I wanted to. The cool thing about the Ubiquiti stuff is it's all GUI driven. So it's kind of like a next-gen switches, routers, we'll just call them network devices. So this guy had a edge router plugged into, his cable modem, edge router, 24-port switch with PoE, and then running to that was also an access point. And I think he was running 2 SSIDs or 2 connections off of his access point, one private, one guest. And that's exactly what I want to do for the house. And then I can have security, I can still play with different stuff. I think that edge router can do VPN tunnels, all that sort of stuff. So that's exactly what I want to do, and there's a GUI for it. So instead of having to beat my head against the wall with this VIOS stuff, it could be a lot easier, a lot prettier, and all that. So this article, it literally explains everything he did, how he set it up. He's got schematics, network diagrams, and he even built it out in tandem to his other existing like Wi-Fi or home network or whatever you want to call it. So it worked out really well. So that way everything works while he's testing and tuning and tweaking, and then you can flip that switch and get everyone over to the new network. So and I think the I gotta double check, but I think the 3750 is a gigabit switch anyway, which is important to me. So that's it, and then like I said, later on I could get another edge router and put it on another network, maybe even here at work, and connect the two with a IPsec tunnel, and then I could access or see my computers that are here from home or something. So kind of exciting. And the home network set up with the edge router, the switch, and the access point. The access points are like $130. The edge router is like 60 at most. And then if I wanted to buy their switch, I think it's maybe $300 to $400. And then that's it. So for $200 for the edge router and the access point, and then I might be able to get that Cisco switch to work in place of the other one that was free. I should be off to the races. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking about. So I got to read his article more. I saved it, bookmarked it, all that fun stuff. But I think that's it. And then this switch that I built at work, this 10 gig switch, it's all it's going to be is just a 10 gig switch. It'll be linking all of my devices at work together. And maybe I could put an access point with hidden SSIDs on it that would allow me to connect like my devices to that on the outside connection. But other than that, I think that's it. It's pretty simple stuff, guys. So that's what that's my goal. I just got to have something more simple, because like I was like, oh, maybe I could set up VPN tunnels and shit on this BIOS and all that, and I still don't really know what I'm doing. So I think the GUI aspect would be simpler and easier, and let's be real, a lot less stressful, because I was really pissed off and thrown off that I blew up my BIOS config yesterday, and this is the most basic config ever. It's just abridged. I basically bridged all the Ethernet interfaces, so you plug into one of them with an uplink, and it gives internet to all the others. So it's the most simple setup. It's just my concern is that once I start going further and further and further and further, that it's not going to be so simple. If I break something, it's not going to be fun. So plus my server, that's effectively known as my 10 gig homebrew switch, it has 750 watt power supplies. Those are not realistic to have at home. Here it's free power, whatever, but at home it's too much. So I could still do like a peer-to-peer setup at home if I really needed to. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about that. But yeah, I could do something like that. For transferring files in between machines and stuff like that, like I could maybe put a dual port in my home server, single ports in my NASs, and then they can access each other that way. That might work. That'd be kind of cool. So in other news, my single port 10 gig SFP Ethernet cards, the single ports, should be arriving today. That's all the news I got. So yeah, stay tuned for more.